everyone, it's Talia with Shelf Stuff. I am here at Barnes & Noble for the first ever book haul blowout. That's right, all of these books are going to be 50% off, and I am so excited to see what they have on the racks and on the tables, and I think it would be so much fun if you came and shopped with me. So let's get right to it, let's go shopping. Land of Stories, Worlds Collide. I don't know exactly what this is about, but I know it has something to do with like a library and fairy tale characters, and I am all for that, so I am definitely getting this. Ooh, Stacy Plays, Wild Rescuers. I love this one. You can read this over and over. We got the Rick Riordan companion novel for the Kane Chronicles. I love companion novels. I just think it's so much fun to like see behind the scenes, so I am getting this one too. Oh, Endling by Catherine Applegate. It is a fantasy magical book about this character who actually realizes that she's the last of her kind. So look at that map too. Please, yes, I need this. Funny Kid number 2. I am so excited for this one. I actually read the first one not that long ago, so this is like perfect timing for me. And I just love a good graphic novel that makes you laugh, you know? Yes, get Funny Kid. I'm so glad that this was on the shelf. Please look at all of these books that I got. I am so excited to actually sit down and get through them all, but I ended up with way more than I thought was possible because there were just way too many for me to ignore. So yeah, I'm getting all of these and I'm super excited about it. All right, everyone, I am back from book shopping and I just wanted to kind of show you everything that I got in store and go more in depth than I could in the actual store because of course it was filled with people. So yeah, I'm just gonna go through everything that I got. So this is actually the last book in the Land of Stories series, and it's basically a modern fairy tale where you have two human characters, Connor and Alex, they're twins, and they somehow fall into this magical world of fairy tale characters. So that's what the whole series is about, but in this last book, spoilers, the fairy tale characters are no longer confined to their world, and basically Connor and Alex are going to have to do this whole big battle to see if humans and fairy tale characters can coexist in the future. So yeah, super excited about this one. You've seen this before. Guardians of the Taiga, Wild Rescuers by Stacy Plays. She is a YouTuber and gamer, and I actually read this book for the Leveling Up series that I did. If you haven't watched that video yet, make sure to check it out to get more detail about this book. But I really liked it, and it's basically based on her Minecraft characters that she has on her YouTube channel. You know I've read this before, but I kind of wanted to give it to somebody else, and I think it's just like an easy one to give, and when it was half off, I couldn't say no, and it's beautiful. So yeah, that is another book that I got. Funny Kid number 2, Stand Up by Matt Stanton. I haven't talked about the first Funny Kid on this series yet, but I'll make sure to talk about it in another video. Basically, in the first Funny Kid, you find out about our main character, Max. He is a middle schooler who's not the best at anything. He's not like the fastest or the smartest or the best looking, but he is very funny. And so he's able to use that to kind of rise him up in the class from underdog to top dog as class president. And in the second book, Matt is going to use his funniness once again, except this time he's going for stand-up comedy and basically just trying to do stand-up comedy in his school talent show. I really liked the first one, so this second one should be pretty amusing too. Yeah, so that's Funny Kid number 2, and like I said, I'll try and talk about both of them. I think there's going to be a third one too, so getting on it with book number 2. And another book that I picked up is Magnus Chase and the Gods of Asgard number 2, The Hammer of Thor. That was a mouthful, but I really tried. It's by Rick Riordan, and I actually have a couple Rick Riordans on this list, so you can say I'm a fan, I am a fan. And this is the second book in the 3-book Magnus Chase and the Gods of Asgard series. And for some backstory, Magnus Chase in the very first book is an orphan who finally figures out that he is actually the child of a Norse god. Of course, life isn't the same after this revelation, and in the first book he goes on a very wild adventure, and the second book is definitely going to be wild as well. And I have another Rick Riordan book, like I said. This one is an even bigger mouthful, so this is From the Kane Chronicles, Brooklyn House Magician's Manual, Your Guide to Egyptian Gods and Creatures, Glyphs and Spells, and more. So this is actually a companion novel to the 3 books in the Kane Chronicles series, and I was a big fan of the Kane Chronicles series. It kind of was a little different when the mythology had to do with the Egyptian characters and everything. So if you liked the Kane Chronicles as much as I did, or if you just kind of want to get into it, you could start with this, I don't know. But yeah, I was happy to see this on the shelf. Like I said, I just wanted more Kane Chronicles, and this is the first that I've heard about it in a while, so happy to have this. Happy they had it. Now I have it. Another book that I picked up today is from the Survivor series, The Gathering Darkness #5, The Exile's Journey. It is the 5th in the second out of 6 books. So it's the 5th book out of 6 in the second series. There you go, that's where it is. So this particular arc is almost done, but now I can jump right into it and be ready for the 6th one when that comes out. All right, everyone, you have no idea how excited I was to see this one on the shelf. I did not think that this was going to be there, but this is Ghost Boys by Jewel Parker Rhodes. Forgive me if I'm pronouncing that incorrectly. So, as you can see, absolutely beautiful. But overall, this is probably like the most literary book on my list. I picked a lot of fun reads this time around, and this one is definitely going to hit me, so I think I'm going to read this first, and I'm the most excited about it. This is a story of a 12-year-old black boy named Jerome who ends up getting killed by a police officer and coming back as a ghost and seeing how his death has affected his community and his family, and basically just seeing the whole aftermath of what happens after he is killed. I'm really excited to talk about this in a future book talk. So yeah, Ghost Boys. The next book that I got is The Burning Maze, Trials of Apollo, series #3, another Rick Riordan. So this is the 3rd and final book in the Trials of Apollo series, which follows, of course, Apollo. And in the very beginning of the series, Apollo has been stripped of all of his godly powers, and now he's just a mortal human. So Dad wasn't happy, and Dad got rid of his powers, Dad being Zeus. So in order to regain his place on Mount Olympus, Apollo has to restore 5 oracles that have gone completely dark. Yes. Another Rick Riordan, and I'm not even mad about it. Endling the Last by Katherine Applegate. In this book, Bix, our main character right here, discovers that she is the last of her species, also known as an endling. And she basically goes on this big quest to try and find members of her family or just members of her species in general, and prove that she's not going to go extinct. That is Endling the Last by Katherine Applegate. Great author, great book. I said this last time, but she wrote Animorphs, okay? The next book that I picked up is Scout National Hero by Jennifer Lee Schatz. So in this book, our main character, Scout, starts life off as a stray dog with a troubled past, but then ends up growing up into one of the best search and rescue dogs in Mississippi. But Scout's new life as a canine recruit is harder than you would have thought, and it just, goes into all the detail from there. But yeah, I just thought that this would be a fun one to read, and I love books from a dog's perspective. I know that's always going to be tugging at my heartstrings, so I thought this would be a really good companion book after I read Soldier Dogs, Air Raid Search and Rescue. So this book is the first book in the Soldier Dogs series, which I read and liked, and it's inspired by real military dogs who were a part of World War II, and it's all about this dog chief right here. So I just love these books because it's the perfect mix of like truth and fiction, and it kind of makes history a little bit more digestible sometimes. So those are all of the books that I picked up. I hope you liked this video. I know it was different than anything I've ever done before, but I had a really fun time, and it's also great because now I have a lot of inspiration for my next book talks. So make sure that you subscribe so you don't miss a single one of my videos. Make sure to hit the like button so I know if you liked this or not, and as always, I'm looking at the comments. I want to see what you're reading, and I want to see what you think about what I'm reading. So make sure to leave a comment if you have something to say or nothing to say. Just leave a comment so that I know you saw it. And thanks again for watching. I will see you next time. Bye!